Z62. You can't have a Z62 throwback weekend and not play Huey Lewis.
Please.
Really?
All right.
I like that interview with Chuck and Huey. But I think
that was fun. We did that right there at the old Civic Center edition. He right in front of the window there. I went to interview him. He grabbed the microphone and just took it.
He took it over.
Yeah.
Took it over.
Where'd you get it?
Hey, someone's on the phone with us. Hi, thanks for calling in.
Hello there, you. It's me, Joe Terrio.
Hey, the Mitcher. Is that Joe?
Hey, I can't tell you how much fun I'm having listening to you guys this morning. It's just from the early days of the Z, when I came down from Presque Isle, because you guys quit at GUI, and I ended up doing mornings over there, and listening to the competition was just, like, really intimidating. And it's just great hearing all the stuff that we're talking about here today, and everyone has called in or talked. I know every one of you, and, man, it's just awesome to hear. Are you going to put this on your station site, Bob?
Yes, this is all being recorded, and so we'll do a podcast on this, and I'll probably run it back again.
I want a fee.
A fee? Yeah. Podcast rights, royalties.
Then this is Mitch Mitchell on the phone with us. Mitch, we were talking a little while ago. Now, you're from Aroostook County. Were you from Holton?
No.
No, Presque Isle. Caribou, really.
Caribou.
Yeah. Presque Isle. Now, did I have a story right that you had a chance to go sing with somebody?
Oh, yeah, that was back in the early days. We did a recording in Boston. It wasn't very good. And we were at practice with the band one night, and I got a call, and they wanted to talk to the lead singer because the tape ended up going to New York. And they wanted to talk to the lead singer, and so I came on the phone. And long story short, they offered me to come up to New York City and record a whole bunch of demos. They had a lot of songs in mind because they liked the sound of my voice for some odd reason. And I was all excited and told the band we're going to New York, and they were all excited. And then the guy said, "No, it's not the band, just you." So that kind of hurt. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
Tom, there's a couple of bands that had that same experience. You got to dump the boys,
Yeah.
Tom Petty, I think, was one of the guys that had that situation.
Yes, he did.
So anyway, long story short, he offered me to come up there and do some recordings with a famous producer. And Dad said, "You're not going up there. You're not going to New York."
How old were you at the time, Mitch?
17.
17, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember you in the bands, Mitch.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we met up at EGP, WEGP.
Who's this?
O'Hara.
Michael O'Hara talking to you there.
Oh, O'Hara, you saved my life that night, remember?
Yeah, I know. We ran together up there. That was a lot of fun in those years.
Yeah, you saved my life when I quit the band and we were on the interstate, and we called Mike O'Hara at like 3 in the morning to come pick us up in the 10 below zero and snow, and you drive up and pick us. Me and Mousy quit.
Yeah, I know.
So that's another story.
Yeah, and of course Bob Dow, he worked with us.
Dow,
remember that? Yeah. Those are the days up in WEGP.
EGP.
Yeah, we worked with Dewey DeWitt, Del Hodgkins, Wayne Knight, all those guys up there.
Picker.
Yeah.
Picker Special. Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My first song I played on WEGP, they hired me to do mornings. And the first song I played was Arthur Conley, "I Am the God of Hellfire." And I bring you fire.
No, that's the crazy world of Arthur
Brown. Okay, so I played that song.
I am the God of Hellfire.
I bring you fire. Well, here I am in Aroostook County on 1340, and boy, the phones rang, and Dewey came in, and Dewey says, "Now, Mike, we know that you're really a popular DJ, but you can't be playing that kind of music in the mornings." Oh, yeah. So. Yeah.
I've never felt the freedom that I felt at the Z62.
Oh, never. Ever.
It was unbelievable.
Yeah.
I always wanted to go to Z62, but I knew there was no shot. And all of a sudden, Chris calls me up one day. He says, "Stephen wants to talk to you, if you want to do mornings at Z." That's when, Bob, you left.
Yes, I had gone.
Yeah, and that's when it started. And Stephen said, "I'd like to make this station commercial-free." And that's when the transition to rock and blues came on. We were kind of, I call it a biker station. I don't think there was a biker in the country that wouldn't like that music entirely. And he said, we're going to make this a commercial-free station. So I got the guy that, Charlie Van Dyke, that did the From the Rock-Bound Southern Coast of Maine.
Right.
That guy, he did our liners working on 62 million in a row. Everybody. Yeah. And I'll never forget, Steven said, we're going to kick this off, and it's a good time because it was on Memorial. And he said, we're going to kick this off on the Memorial, right after Memorial Weekend, or on Memorial Day, we're going to have a new station. And we're going to call it 62 Z-Rock. So at that time, I said, well, what are we going to play? He said, well, come on over. And I went through his record library and picked out a lot of stuff. And I said, yeah, can I take this back? He said, sure. We brought it back, recorded the stuff, and I started a promo. He said, let's do like 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, the countdown with the Rockets. Well, I started this promo 72 hours. It was a 72-hour promo. And I had this guy doing voices that could do Gomer Pyle, Jack Nicholson, and he was saying all these crazy things about ZON and everything. And I had this background music, all the jocks that were, we'd plug the tapes in and play them, but all the background music would change. We're playing really creepy stuff. There was Stephen King all over the place through it. So I remember one night, and I'm running this for like 12 hours, and I'm at the station the whole time, and it's the weirdest thing you ever heard on radio. It was just totally insane. People were calling up, especially at night, and women going, this is too freaky, I'll never listen to this station again. And I'm going, oh, yes, you will. Because we were changing the format from Top 40, and we were going right off the charts. And so the doorbell rings at the station, and I go to the door, and who's here at this late at night? It's Stephen King with his face up against the glass. You've seen him do that before,
Yeah.
Right? So then he goes, man, what are you doing to my radio station? And I went, geez, I'm sorry. He goes, no, man, this is awesome. It sounds like an acid trip.
It still does.
Yeah, it still does. So he said, this is great. He says, we got this freedom to do whatever we want. This is, he said, the only thing is just don't play any Led Zeppelin, okay? I said, okay, you got it. So when the countdown came and we started when the mic came on, I started playing Michael Jackson because no one knew what we were going to do.
Yeah.
So I started playing Michael Jackson, and then I had Eddie Murphy's voice come in saying, Michael Jackson, my main man, and then he said, well, get this junk off this radio station. And you hear a needle go across the record. And he says, this is about rock and roll. So what's the first song I play? Led Zeppelin. Rock and roll.
Yeah.
And that became the new format. It was probably the best memories of my life, really, because it was so much fun. There was absolutely no restrictions on anything there. So anyway, thanks for letting me go on about that, but that was the last part of Z62's music.
Yeah.
From then on, it went to, dentist music.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, then it went to dentist music. That's right. Yeah. What was that?
Wonder why.
Mitch, what were some of the other characters you used to? I mean, you did the Joe Terrio. You did.
And Wilbur Judy. Wilbur Judy,
I can't do it now, but
What was the?
Hey, everybody, it's me, your pal Wilbur Judy. Want to say hello to my buddy.
What was the one? What was the Indian Tonto? You used to do Tonto, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. This is not politically correct at all.
No.
We're only talking about the time.
Then we
Bobby.
are talking about the times and whatnot, but yeah, that was his chief engineer.
That's right.
Yeah. Oh, Mitch, man, I wish you could have made it up here, man. It would have been great to see you, but I'm so glad that you took time to call in. Are you in Florida?
Yeah, I'm down near Tampa area. Just kind of hanging out and doing a lot of reading and recording and stuff like that. And
all right, well, I got going to look you up because I go to the Tampa Bay area every February.
Do you?
Yes, go down there and stay place. It's called Treasure Island.
Yeah.
And so I stay there every February.
Mitch, I'll
Rosemary
give him your email address because Mitch and I email constantly.
Please do that. It'd be great.
Okay.
And I just want to thank you guys for doing this and keep up the. I just can't wait to hear how this is going to go. So,
thank you, Mitch Mitchell. Mitch Mitchell, one of the greats here in Bangor Radio. Thanks for calling in, Mitch.
Okay, buddy. Take care, Bob.
There he goes. Wow, how great was that?
That's great, yeah.
How great was that to have Mitch call in?
That brought back some memories.
Yeah, that guy's so talented.
Yeah,
so talented.
He was so good.
He's a little twisted, though.
Oh, yeah. You got to be.
Well, he was almost one of the original ZJs because he and John Elliott came down.
That's right.
That's right. Mitch applied. We didn't hire Mitch.
Right. Yeah.
First time around.
Yeah.
Well, wasn't it?
That's right.
The rumor was that you asked them the question, okay, do you want to work here? And John said, yeah. And Mitch said, I don't know.
That could have been it.
It could have been easily it.
Yeah. So
You only had one chance with us, I think.
Yeah.
That was it.
As Indiana Jones said, you chose poorly.
Yes.
poorly.
Poorly.
Well, I think it's quite a testament to the programming of the old Z62 and the music that some of the people that did come and there were two kind of employees there. There were the guys that were here and then went on to much bigger things.
Yeah.
And then there was the guys like me that just stayed.
Like me.
And you stayed. But I mean, Rick Andrews, like I said, he ended up in California.
Yeah, he did great.
John Elliott.
Yeah.
My gosh,
He went out to Arizona.
Yeah,
he went to Arizona.
And he came back with a whole new set of tools.
Yes.
That guy is so talented.
And Chuck, you know better than anybody. But John Elliott worked with Jimmy Kimmel.
Well,
Jimmy Kimmel was
He gave Jimmy Kimmel his start.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know? And in fact, he was telling me Jimmy Kimmel stories before Jimmy was even in TV when he was working out in Los Angeles and all over the place there.
Jimmy Kimmel was someone who just called in to John's radio show and did voices and goofed around and stuff like that. And I they're still pretty close, still pretty tight.
Yeah.
Hey, you want to take another call? I wonder who this is. Hi, you're on Z62. Hello.
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine. Who's this?
My name's Jeremy Mixer.
Jeremy Mixer. Okay, the Mix Man. He worked. He did overnights on KIT for a long time for us. Hello, Jeremy.
Yes,
Down Southern Maine.
Yeah.
I did. I just wanted to say that I'm listening online in South Portland,
Yeah.
and even though I grew up down here in Southern Maine, after I worked up there, I heard so many great stories about Z62, and this is one of the coolest things that I have ever heard on a radio broadcast ever.
Wow.
Well,
we get up on YouTube, Bob.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying it, Jeremy, and thanks.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, absolutely. And, it's great to hear all these guys all together and everything. And, this is fantastic.
Well, we appreciate it. We really
thank
do.
you, Jeremy. Are you still on the radio? You should be, because you were a great guy.
Right now, I'm not, but I'm trying to work my way back into it. So
get back on the air, because you were dynamite. You were dynamite.
Thank you.
All right, Jeremy, thanks for calling in.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, Jeremy went to New England School of Broadcasting, and I gave him a job doing overnights on KIT.
Yeah. Well, Chuck, remember when we did the School of Broadcasting?
Oh, God.
I have my morning show partner.
We had one successful
graduated from the Mighty John Chuck Foster School of Broadcasting, which took place about 50 feet over there in the production room.
Well,
here.
You guys were so far ahead of the time.
There and down in my basement.
We had a guarantee. We had a guarantee. If we couldn't get you a job, you didn't have to pay.
Yeah.
Because Husson was putting on their broadcast station at the time.
Right.
Well, they're charging the kids, thousands of dollars. We have $300, Mighty John Chuck Foster School of Broadcasting. So is that why Mark the Shark?
Mark the Shark, Mark
Wow.
Young. He was one of your. I guess he's probably be the star
class valedictorian.
Yeah.
kids that wanted to be in broadcasting. They want to know, how do I get on the air?
Right.
How do I become? The School of Broadcasting, where I remember it, they teach the history of radio. No. That's not what kids want to know.
No.
How do I get a job?
Yeah.
And I said to Chuck, this is what we're going to teach them. We're going to teach them how to get a job.
How to make a commercial.
Yeah.
It
was great.
Yeah.
I think we had like 15 kids at one time.
Something like that was great.
I remember I would be on the air here in the studio,
right?
And you'd have all these kids down there teaching them how to splice tape and read and do this and that. I thought it was great.
Yeah, it was good.
It was great.
Maybe we should start that again, Chuck.
Yeah.
I got to ask you guys a question because you're a lot closer to this than I am. It seems to me that young kids these days trying to get into radio, what with multiple ownerships and a lot of automation, that sort of thing, it must be tough for a kid wanting to get into this business these days.
Very tough. Very, very tough.
Well, a lot of syndication, not that many radio stations have live DJs or part of the broadcast day is voice tracked. And, so they don't hire as many.
Well, I think multiple ownership plays into that. I mean, if you got 9 radio stations and 4 employees, I remember the days.
If we could only figure it out, Barry, we would have done the same thing.
We would have been one of the owners. Yeah.
No, I don't do business that way.
I know you don't, and that's
a lot of kids would get like Rick. Right out of high school, they'd be running syndicated programs on the weekends, Sunday nights, Sunday mornings, and stuff like that. That was their first foot in the door, and then maybe they'd cut a commercial or do a live
read a weather or something.
Yeah. And there isn't that opportunity that much anymore because the computer can spit out.
That's true. That's true.
American Top 40 or whatever.
Back in the day, the big thing was just show up.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, that's a great.
You're here
and on time.
The number one thing that we taught people: I don't care about what you sound like. I don't care what you are. Number one thing: dependability. Show up on time.
That's right.
Show up
because the guy getting up at 10 o'clock, he's not going to wait for you.
He want to still be here at 10:02.
So
show up.
Dependability. The number one thing you need.
And Bob was always really good about that because I had it pretty much down to a science. I could get from the Z to my driveway during Paradise by the Dashboard Light. And Bob was always right on time.
Yeah. I was right there.
That Volkswagen come pulling in there. And I go,
my dog,
see ya.
Blue.
Yeah.
Good old Blue.
Yeah, good old Blue.
The Wonder Dog.
And I would know where I had to be on the road when I heard the first chords of Paradise by the Dashboard Light.
That's Dashboard Light there.
Yeah. Hi. You're on Z62. Who's this?
Hey, this is Bob Dorr. How are you guys doing?
Bob Dorr. How are you, pal?
Long-time listener, first-time caller, I think.
Okay, well, first
time we've had the show.
First time really, in the studio here, yeah.
No, I just wanted to say this is great, a lot of memories, and I wanted to share a quick, funny Mighty John story.
No, we don't know if we can do this on the air.
What's the rating on it?
Oh, it's G. It's G, but it's kind of funny. I just remember, I think it was 1987, a girlfriend called Mighty there one night and wanted to do a dedication. And, him being the smart guy that he is there, he threw on Twisted Sister, Love is for Suckers.
That would be mighty.
I don't remember that. You have me mixed up with somebody else.
You're thinking of somebody else.
Yes, that was pretty good.
Bob Dorr.
Is she still your girlfriend, Bob?
No, that was quite a while ago.
That was a while back.
Yeah, I think that was the last straw, maybe even. I don't know.
I feel great now.
Hey, thanks for calling in, Bob.
All right, guys.
Thank you so much. It's great. Everybody listened to Z62.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody listened to Z62.
There was no internet.
Yeah.
There were no, there's no iTunes and iPods. And, we had people that were recording songs on their boom boxes. That would be their part of their musical library.
Yeah, they'd wait for you to play the song and hope that you wouldn't talk over it.
Yeah, listeners, which we did. Very, very.
We were good at it, though. We were good at it.
Yeah.
I think the thing that the listeners liked the most about us is that they never knew what was going to come next. They didn't dare to turn away because they might miss something.
Yeah,
and we were good at recording and playing it back and that kind of stuff. We were good at that.
And it was all done on a reel-to-reel.
Oh,
it was all done on a reel-to-reel
Yeah.
machine. Not that fancy digital stuff now.
You
had to tape
splicing
it.
tape,
you had to splice
razor blades, and there you go.
and get it ready to play back, all inside a 2.5
What are they going to
minutes.
do next?
Yeah.
We were always on the edge.
And the programming a radio station now, you are so, you can only do this, or you can only do that. You can only be a rock station. You can only play country. The Z62, we literally played
everything.
Dolly Parton and Kenny Rogers and then AC/DC.
The Don Williams. How about Don Williams to Crystal
Don
Gale
Williams.
Wasn't that a party?
Wow, wasn't that a party? Yeah.
Well, funny you mentioned that, because when I first announced that we were going to do this, I got a lot of emails from people saying, "Hey, you got to play this song. When I think of Z62, I think of Wasn't That a Party from the Rovers, or I think of this or that." I had somebody that is been bugging me for the last 3 or 4 days. They want us to play the Bonnie and Clyde commercial.
I remember
I don't even know where that
that's a GUI.
That would be.
Well, that would be GUI anyway, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that's in my library.
I think we ever did was Barry doing the old blue bus. Remember that? Down the old blue bus, on the hot dogs down there on
Dana's Grill. Dana's Grill.
Dana's Grill, yeah.
Barry Darling voiced the commercials for Dana's Grill.
Nothing could be finer than to be at Dana's Diner.
Yes,
Is that still there?
No,
I don't.
No.
I think they're still in business, but they're somewhere.
Well, I remember we did a live broadcast for him at one point. And
oh God,
yeah! I said, "Well,
remember
how'd you
that.
go?" He says, "I don't know if I have you guys back. We only sold 1,000 hot dogs." And well, how many do you normally sell? A couple hundred.
Yeah, didn't know if he wanted us back.
I didn't want you back.
Everywhere we went during that time period, we would always draw a crowd.
Yeah.
Always draw a crowd.
And we had remotes every weekend.
Every weekend.
At least one.
Yeah.
Are you still doing remotes?
Oh, yes.
Are you still selling those same old hot dogs?
The red hot dogs? We don't sell them. We give them away.
Well, I mean, give them away. But we don't eat the hot dogs.
Yeah.
They're left over from a previous remote.
Well, that was back then. Yeah. Nowadays, they're all
Roderick was the only one that would keep eating the hot dogs.
People would come and line up where they bring their families and feed them at the remote. Where's the remote next week? We want to.
Next week.
I was doing a remote over at the Winterport Boot Shop with Mike Allen.
Right.
Yep.
Still there.
Yeah. And Mike was just amazed. He would sit there and he'd go, "I can't believe this." We'd had literally some people would come in. We had one guy in particular that followed me everywhere. No matter where I went, he was there. So one day I'm standing there and I'm watching him, and he's filling his pockets up with hot dogs.
Okay. Yeah.
That was Chuck.
No.
Yeah,
No. And not only was it just hot dogs, it was hot dogs with the condiments. It was
Right in the
mustard
pocket.
Right in the pocket. And he was walking out, and Mike Allen's standing there looking, and he's dripping mustard and relish down on the floor as he's walking out to the car.
Bring us up home for the family.
Yeah.
Those would be remotes were a very big
huge.
deal, and Bill Roderick probably sold more remotes than anybody.
Yeah.
I know that you and I were out at the Better Buy Barn, the Better Buy Barn. Chuck Foster is responsible for that annoying jingle.
Well, actually, Harry King was.
Was it Harry King right there?
Yeah, Harry,
I remember.
He did it in my studio. Yeah.
I have one story about Epstein's. I was doing a lot of remotes over to Epstein's, and I think the competition had the Boston Celtics in before I was going to show up. So they were doing a double remote that day. So they brought in the Celtics, and the place was packed. So now I'm coming in the back door with my little remote equipment, setting up, and the store is empty. So Stan, Israel, standing there with a big smile on his face going, "Okay, hotshot, show me what you got now." So I'm standing there, and I looked over, and I looked at this beautiful, beautiful Woolworths jacket. I said, "Okay." I said, "I got a beautiful Woolworths jacket here. The first person in that can tell me the whatever's got this, I'm going to give you this free jacket." Well, Stan is over there going, "What?" So I started giving away the store. Well, lo and behold, before the day was over with, he caught on, and we repacked the store, and it was a great success. But that's the story of during remotes. You never knew what was going to happen, and it was always so scary. And I'd be so nervous going into those and hoping somebody would show up.
Well,
As long as you got hot dogs.
As long as you got hot dogs, someone's going to be there. But we always had hot dogs, and we always had records
Coke.
to give away.
Coke, yeah.
And it was unbelievable. It was just unbelievable.
Remember how we'd put we'd give away an album, and we put a sticker on it and put the person's name on it.
Yes.
They'd have so much time to come pick it up.
Right.
And if they didn't pick it up within a certain amount of time, some of them go home with us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I actually had one album that was won by this girl back in the day. I don't even remember what the album was now. And it ended up in my collection. And I got to meet her again after all these years. I said, I've still got that album you never picked up. Last year, I gave her the album.
She finally got it?
Yeah, she finally got it.
And back in those days, we would give away everything. I mean, we were.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it was constantly contesting, constantly putting people on the air. That was the key.
Well, we always gave away money during the ratings.
Right.
Yeah.
But it never ceased to amaze me. No matter how much money we gave away, the most popular thing we ever gave away was a box of Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah.
Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah.
We said, well, why give away the money? We could just do donuts.
I think we did a spin-off of Eddie Driscoll. He used to do dialing for dollars.
Right.
Yeah.
Dialing
we
for
did
donuts.
dialing for donuts. It was stupid, but it was the most popular thing that we ever did.
Yeah.
The funny thing was, people would kill for those damn donuts.
Well, I Still Do is going on right now on KIT, High-Low.
Yeah.
That was a Mighty John.
High-Low is a very easy contest.
It's easy.
Yeah.
It's that forced listenership.
Yeah.
And, you give away a bunch of money. Money talks.
Yeah, it does.
So how much is in the pot right now?
Well, there's quite a bit in there. There's quite a bit in there right now. Hey, we got to take a quick break. We're going to come back. More Michael O'Hara, Mighty John, Chuck Foster, Barry Darling, Bill Roderick. It's the Z62 Throwback Weekend.
Z62.